Hi, welcome to this course in Align, where today we are going to be setting your 3 goals that then we reduce down into your habit, your keystone habit. We're going to take your keystone habit and minify it and make it something that you do 6 days a week. But before we get to keystone habit, I want you to set 3 goals for this year. And I think that it would be really great if you picked 1 goal in energy and health, 1 in business, your birth business, and 1 for your family. I'm sure that you already came to this course with a whole bunch of goals, and if you came with a ton, I want to encourage you to limit it down to 3. I'd really love to offer these categories as suggestions for you, and then we're just going to pick the one that would make the biggest cohesive difference to your whole life. So if you need to upgrade your business to cause bandwidth for the rest of your life, or maybe you're like me and your business is more established, you're really wanting to establish your family at a new level of connection and just integrity. I mean that in the sense of like alignment. You know, we're living who we want to be at a daily level in a space that fits us. So go ahead and get a pad of paper, and I want to ask you to do this by hand, not on the computer. And I am going to share with you my personal practice in this lesson that I do frequently. My sister makes fun of me because this is what I do to relax. I lay quietly on the floor and do breathing and release tension out of my body and receive love. She's like, all you do is work and sleep. But I'm not usually sleeping. I'm usually doing this. So this is kind of the opposite of like an adult language warning that you'll hear maybe some other places. This is a faith-based warning. So there's things in here that have to do with soul and spirit. So if you're not a person of faith, and if that doesn't resonate with you, you can, find another practice that really gets you into a peak state, whether that's something that you just have an epic morning routine, or maybe you want to go for a really inspiring run somewhere beautiful early in the morning. But all of the big heroes, right, of productivity, they tell us that if you want to have a goal that lifts you above your grind, that you have to make a goal where you are removed from the grind of your life and you really want to get into a just completely new space and set that goal that is going to be so seminal for you. You want to set it in a peak state. They say that a journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. So you really want to make sure that that step is in the right direction. And I think by the end of this course, you will have a sense of how much I value your attention and how much good I think you can do with your attention. And so the fact that I am asking you to have these goals that you turn into your keystone habit, and I'm asking you to commit to doing this, like 100% activation energy. There's not like, I'm going to try, like you've committed to do this, and you're discovering all the magic of commitment, right? You're going to commit to doing this 6 days. You really want to make sure that you're making this decision about what it's going to be in a peak state. So, fully warned, this is vulnerable for me. This is a sharp departure from Brilliant Birth Academy's normal, just very science, secular, stuff. I've actually never done anything like this. This is going to be a practice that I share with you that's going to be a breathing somatic descent. I want to give a shout out to Reggie Ray, who introduced me into more of a full practice. And this isn't going to be long at all, but we're just going to do some breathing and just release tension. We're going to receive love in our body, and we're going to do this for a few reasons. Next slide. This practice will really help you see yourself, identify with yourself in a different way. So often we really fiercely identify with our history, our trauma, our problems, our limitations, right? And I just want to give you a different perspective of yourself. And you've already heard me say this, but we think that we're the voice in our head. We think we're just the verbal left brain, and we're not. We're also our right brain, which is tied into our limbic system, into our brainstem, into our cardiovascular system, and our respiratory system, and your digestive system. You have neural cells in your gut. You have, at a cellular level, your cells receiving intelligence that is hormonal and chemical, right? You don't just have a body. You are your body. That is a scientifically accurate thing to say. And actually, it's becoming kind of understood that your body is your subconscious. It is where the experiences of your life are. And we're going to meet some of those in today's practice. So if it feels like we are approaching your actual self, that is because we are. It's a self that you may spend your days with, but maybe you've never really known how to access it. And I think the desire to know yourself and to meet yourself in this way it's a very deeply felt sense. We want to know. We want to know ourselves. And my sister spent 3 months in Poland where she was the only, no one spoke English around her at all. And she had this amazing experience of herself in a completely different context. So maybe you've sought yourself through travel. Maybe you've sought yourself through your history in therapy or in counseling. Maybe you've tried to find the boundaries of yourself in relationship or added to the sense of self with material expression or with accomplishments. But we want to know, and you can know. You can have a felt understanding, a felt knowing of your body. So in addition to really approaching your fundamental sense, I'm going to ask your permission to invite you here. This is the kind of the faith-based part. I'm going to invite you to love yourself and to receive divine love. Part of the reason for this is because love is very purifying. It heals the unconscious motivations that drive unhealthy choices in our life. When we're striving out of guilt, we're being driven by shame, love cleanses that. It heals that. And I want you to have the clarity of motivation so that your life isn't being fueled by toxic fuel, right? This is really why I was brave in kind of making myself vulnerable and sharing this, where like I said, I'm usually not faith-based at all, is because, I don't want to say it all, but is because this is, I think, really going to purify the unconscious motivations that could be driving you. And if you're going to really set your life, it's like the faster you run, the quicker you can get to the wrong direction. And I just know that I spent years of my life honestly pursuing things that were so shame-based. So I want to give you a felt awareness of this. And then in the midst of this experience, we're also going to be receiving any wisdom that the body is offering to us in the process of where we are right now, this process of determining our goals for this year. And this is something that you might have to build a capacity for, because just depending on how much you really consult your intuition, your corpus callosum could be very oxygenated and have very vibrant neural pathways. That's just the nerve band that goes between the brain hemispheres. It's just something where if you don't use it regularly, it can atrophy. And so this is an exercise really even in neuroplasticity. You might have to literally restructure the architecture of your brain in order to do this more fully. But if your unconscious is able to speak, if that's kind of all in place and you're a very intuitive person, then these are some things that you want to be aware of if your body is speaking to you. That's even the wrong way to put it, but because the body's gifts are really nonverbal. Its gifts of direction it comes to us in things like images. I have a slide for this. Hold on. I have very few slides, but this is a slide I have. So it speaks to us in images. It offers oftentimes single words or sentence fragments. It will speak to you through memories and is very image-based. Now, the last thing I want to say is just to make sure that you don't show up with a ton of agenda wanting to know who you really are, or why you're so conflicted all the time, or where's all my trauma. Just don't show up like that, okay? Really, your agenda here is love, especially if you have mostly treated or experienced your body as just a servant that carries out the will of your mind, and you're upset at it when it's not functional and sick and it's just more of a tool to you. You need to be very mindful and to come in a very humbled, honoring posture, almost the way that you would enter a temple or any sacred space, because we are bringing our consciousness almost like a priest would enter a temple. And you just want to have a posture of openness to what the body has to say to you. And then you want to bring your own loving awareness. Now, if you're thinking about this abstractly, you might say, great, I'm going to experience my body in a new way, maybe get a new direction. We're going to get some love abstractly. Your body goes, or your left brain goes, well, that's great. That's why I'm here, is I want to expand the experience of my life, and, I'm open. But in practice, we're going to be up on an edge here. And like I've said before, we're going to go into the inner man here. So if you're not a person of faith, you've been dissuaded, you've also been asked permission, right, for me to invite you to love and to invite divine love to come and to heal and cleanse you. So if you still want to take the plunge, I want to invite you to stay with it for the whole practice and to be willing to come with me, even if there's an unfamiliarity of language. The body really is nonverbal, so just don't get hung up on anything like if I drop a masculine pronoun or whatever. Just use the guidance if it serves your experience, or you can just use words that feel more familiar to you. But most importantly, don't discount your experience. You don't have to conjure anything. Don't do that. But just be willing to acknowledge any true felt sense. Okay? So we're going to begin by finding a comfortable place to lie down. I'm inviting you to assume a totally supported posture. As you're doing this practice, as you're first learning to feel directly. With this posture, we are reclaiming the posture of ourselves as a newborn. Your body remembers that time when you couldn't even lift up your head or be self-directing or meet your basic needs. So here, as we're finding a new way to meet our needs, we return to this posture and to the memory of a time when we were fresh from the other side, when we were very open to love. So please take your lying down position. Let your body tell you where it wants to relax or release, and anywhere there is tension, just let it go out of your ankles, out of your pelvis, out of your neck. Your breath should feel relaxed. Let's begin. I want you to experience your upward gaze as an awareness. And now let that awareness float down and directly enter the body, landing centrally, right next to your heart. Breathe. Now your awareness is inside your body. We're just sensing and breathing. If you don't feel anything, that's fine. Just feel any sensations that are there for you. You may get a general felt sense, like how you notice the weather when you step outside. Just a general read of the environment. Feel the humility, the smallness of your awareness inside the expanse of your body. And stay in that posture of openness. And if any wisdom comes to you, any impression, any images, receive that. So you can kind of raise up in your awareness now and begin to radiate your love into your awareness so that you're within the body with a loving attention, and then add to that breath. When we bring our loving awareness into the body, we often find that we are immediately greeted by parts of us that have experienced a violation of love. They present as a subtle holding. Your awareness might come to the fact that there's an ache or soreness in your body. For some of you, you might have very acute pain. Breathe. Stay. Just keep your love on. So these tension points are usually the parts of ourselves that are in chemical or hormonal state reliving a past trauma. And they rise up to meet that loving awareness, which enfolds them. See if you can surround them with your awareness. See if you can Enter into the area of tension in your body with your awareness. Into that place where your body is holding tension, enter that with your awareness and fill it with your awareness completely. Feel how it softens to love. The tension releases the grip completely. I want to give you a moment here. Just take the time, any tension that raises itself up to your awareness. You may be feeling bands of tension, whole areas of tension. Sometimes a muscle doesn't have the adenosine triphosphate that it needs, and so it's bonded, right? It's like adhesed, it's in bondage. It physically cannot release itself. So just bring your awareness, if you're feeling anything like that, to see if you can enter into that tension with your awareness. Release. Breathe. So as these different areas of tension kind of raise themselves to your awareness, if you're not aware of any tension, that's fine too. Don't conjure anything. If you do have something coming up into your awareness, you can enter into that and just feel your compassion towards it. The ease with which your awareness wants to surround it, to hold it, to enter into it, to cleanse it. And experience how the tension in your body, it softens. Experience that healing integration, how naturally it reintegrates and acclimates to the rest of the interior environment. And feel how the tension responds to loving attention. Feel how readily the body receives love. Feel the body's sense of seeking after love. Bring your awareness to that. It's a felt sensation of hungering for loving attention. This hunger, it touches us deeply. It's not an emotion, it's a feeling. It feels like a tenderness, like a soreness, almost like you want to cry. Feel how that desire wants to rise up and to meet the loving awareness of divine love. Feel how it pulsates, how it resonates from deep within you. If you bring your awareness a little bit outside of your body again, you'll find that this is a longing that has resonance. Stay with the feeling. It's a resonance that's with every living thing. Let it express itself fully. That hunger for love. That wanting to rise up to divine loving attention. Holy Spirit, come. Breathe. Feel how the love is now surrounding you, filling you. It's cleansing you. Breathe. It's releasing any sense of separateness. Let yourself be healed right now. Feel love's desire that you would be one, that you would be folded in, and just enjoy that union with God and all of that energy right now. And why would you ever want to be separate from this? Just let yourself totally surrender into that feeling. Just feel how totally filled you are, how surrounded you are. Be filled with the Holy Spirit. And feel how real and familiar this love is. Feel how you know it. Feel how safe it feels in your body. How alive it makes you feel. this love, it feels like home. It's the feeling of oneness, of belongingness. It's our source. This is where we came from. That's how we feel about it. Now feel in this moment, receive with any images or memories or words. Feel all of the goodness of life. All the goodness of the earth. As you realize that the whole earth is full of the goodness of God, and that you never have to be separate from this. Feel its abundance. Feel its presence, its loving awareness of you. Now feel as you prepare to bring your awareness back out of your temple. Feel that your body is still filled with His presence. Feel how the presence remains. Now opening your eyes, just enjoy how satisfied you are, how full you are. And know that this love is always present for you. To enter into your body, to heal you, to love you, and to make you whole. So that's all for now. The practice is complete. Thank you for your attention, and please enjoy writing out your goals. Thank you.